Welcome to AlphaCars and Motorcycles. This is our Boxborough location, and here we have 1979 Volga GAZ 24. This is not just a regular GAZ 24. This is Moscow City Taxi, and this car has been in service for a very, very long time. And we imported it in the USA about 10 years ago. We had it in our Soviet-era car collection for all these years. We maintained the car, and now it found its new home in Arizona, United States. So it's going to get picked up today, and it's been waiting for this pickup for weeks here, right in our showroom, right next to this SL. We have a low mileage Corvette. We have an AMG GT53. So all kinds of cool cars, and of course, we're a Royal Enfield dealer, we're a Ural Motorcycles dealer. We've been in business 35 years, and we do all kinds of things, so check out our website, alphacars.com. But here, as the title of this video, we're gonna start this vintage Soviet-era car. It has one nice feature that we're going to use, and that is a priming fuel system manually. So we're gonna put our hand, in fact, we're gonna put our thumb on the lever of the fuel pump. Check out, here's the fuel pump, and here is the little lever. There it is. So what we're gonna do, and the reason we're gonna do that, because if the vehicle, and most of the vintage vehicles with manual fuel pumps, they don't have this feature. So you have to crank the engine, and every revolution, and for some, because it depends what drives that pump, but if it's off of the camshaft, off of the cam, 2 revolution will only make 1 positive stroke of the pump. So you need to crank it maybe 20, 40 revolutions to get fuel to fill up the carburetor fuel chamber. So check this out. Here's the carburetor, and we need to fill this chamber right here with fuel. So what we're gonna do it manually, so we're not, so what I'm doing right now, you can hear the suction. So it pulls the gas from the tank, and it pushes it through this line, through this manual, through this serviceable filter, and then through this line, and right into the carburetor. So then when you feel that lever kind of just idles, that means we just filled up the carburetor. So the next thing we're gonna do, let's get into the cabin. And just think of it, this is Moscow City Taxi, and it's been in service for at least, I would say, 10, 15 years. Can you imagine how many people it served, how many stories this car has heard? It's mind-blowing if you start thinking of everything. But anyway, here is the choke. We have the choke, and it's actually, it has a sign that you can see right here. So we're gonna pull this out, and yeah, this is all the way, and we're gonna come back like halfway, okay? Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna give it a couple of injections, because every time you do that, there is a spray of fuel goes into the carburetor. So now we're gonna take the key, put it in the ignition, turn the ignition on, and I'm gonna give it just a little, like maybe 5% of the throttle. Okay, so we're gonna pull out the choke more. And it starts to run rough. When you feel that, you need to bring the choke back in until it smooths out. This is a very important step. And the reason it's important, because we don't want to flood we don't want to flood the engine with fully, when it's fully choked. We needed that fully choked to get it started. But at this point, we brought it back in, so it just runs. Yeah, and this is now idles with a little bit of choke. Yeah, thank you, Ian, for opening that. We don't want to choke our office personnel, so we're going to close this. We're going to pull this out, and we're going to let it warm up. And check out that green light. That is an indicator that this vehicle is available for hire. Yeah, it has a manual meter. We're gonna invite Ian, we're gonna treat him to a ride in a Volga taxi.
I just called the taxi and they stopped for me.
Yeah, and it wasn't through Uber, right?
Nope.
No.
It was through AlphaCars.
I'm gonna close the, oh, someone closed the door. Ian.
I got the door for
Yeah,
you.
you got the door. So
We don't want to let the heat out for our office personnel.
yeah, so we still have the choke out a little bit, not much. And you can see it's got excellent throttle response. When the engine temperature reaches close to operating, we're gonna push the choke in, and then it'll be ready to operate without the choke. But it is important to not start with a full choke, and it's okay, we gave it a couple of cranks, and then we pulled the choke out, started the engine, and then it started to kind of run rough. And that's a very important, again, I'll repeat that, I just said that, but it is important to push the choke in slowly until the engine smooths out. If you don't do that, most likely engine will get flooded, it will stall out, and it will not start easily. You may even have to remove the plugs to dry them from fuel.
It's a very authentic day. It's literally like 16 degrees Fahrenheit
Yes.
outside right now. I was grateful Dimitri stopped in the taxi to pick me up.
Yes.
This is great.
Yeah, we're gonna park it in front of the building, and we're gonna wait for the transporter. We just got notification they're on the way and picking up this gorgeous vehicle. Well, before we end this video, let's treat our viewers to a walk around the vehicle. And I believe we do have a video about this car somewhere on YouTube. So check that out.
If we have an AlphaCars legacy video on this car, it'll be linked in the description.
Yes. Well, thanks for watching, and Ian is going to wrap this up. And please consider sharing, subscribing. Let us know which videos you like the best, and happy holidays.
Well, that was a great ride in the taxi. Look at the condition of this car.